Hello, YouTube. I'm just curious to know where everybody's headspace is with this Nelly thing. I mean, first of all, we don't know if they really got married because ain't no wedding pictures. Ashanti said they was engaged, and then the next thing we know, oh, they've been married for 6 months already. So it's like if she was married, why did she say they was engaged? Who knows? I just hope she didn't marry him because it's like, oh, I'm getting old type stuff, you know. And everybody knows their situation 10 years ago was a little messy because she cheated on him, as y'all know, with Chink Santana. I read the book. Those of y'all who fans of Love and Hip Hop, Winter. She grew up in Cypress Hills Project. Shout out to Cypress Hills, East New York. So yeah, Winter grew up in Cypress Hill Projects, and she ended up in the industry. And you know, she had her time with different men. One of the men she encountered was Chink Santana while he was messing with her, dating Keisha Cole and Ashanti, and she explains in detail, you know, different things or whatever. But Ashanti was definitely, you know, dealing with him while she was with Nelly, and that's why Nelly had broke up with her in the first place. They were broken up for 10 years, and now they're back together. And it seems like ever since they got back together, he's in the news for something negative. And it's like, I just want to know, ladies, would you marry, date, or be with a man who has different political views than you? Because Ashanti was never, what's the word? She was never vocal about her beliefs. Whether as Beyonce, she's more vocal. Beyonce, we know she was raised Christian. Beyonce, we know when she did Formation, she made a huge statement, and that's what made us fall in love with her, well, me as a fan, when she was talking about police brutality. And that statement was so major in 2016 that Mayor Giuliani, who's not even the mayor anymore, he told the NYPD, do not go to her concert. I went, and there was absolutely no police presence there. Luckily, nothing crazy happened, but Beyonce has that impact where she makes people stop and think. So, also when the protest was going down, Jay-Z, which I didn't know until my professor brought it to our attention when I was in college, there were people who got arrested for the Floyd protest. Now here in New York, we're more liberal, so nobody, I personally did go to the protest. Yes, I did. Your girl, I kind of ended up in the protest by accident. I took my son out somewhere, and I remember my boyfriend at the time, he was a little worried, like, you at the protest with your son, da-da-da. I was like, what am I run for? I'm right here, might as well. And it was just a beautiful experience because my son got to see protests really do help. I don't know if I told y'all, but my son's daycare, they was gonna shut it down. We went to City Hall. So I'm a living witness that protests do help, and because of the Floyd protests around the country, laws have changed now for the police department. But getting back to Ashanti and Nelly, I just want to, where's everybody headspace right now? Now Nelly, not to stereotype, but people from St. Louis and Mississippi and so forth, they have a different brain than New Yorkers. So when slavery was going on, they were the last to find out. You know the story of Juneteenth is when the slaves were free, and a lot of them did not know that they were free. And a part of that reason is the mentality, right? They didn't know. Also, just in general, if you notice, like, somebody like my father, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, he's a baby boomer. If you take a baby boomer from New York City versus a baby boomer that's from like down south. You have a few people from down south that's like, yo, let's get it popping. But some of them are very like subservient. Like even in 2025, you just have certain types of black people that are just like kiss butt to the man. And it's sad because it's like we're human just like them and so forth. So for him to do the Trump inauguration, honestly, I'm not surprised, but it does raise a question as to how is Ashanti feeling towards it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is supposedly her husband. They supposedly got married. They just had a baby. He's always in the news, and I feel like that's a sign of like hyper, there's a word for that, but it's like he's always in the news and he's always just doing something that's like annoying. So that's my question of today. Ladies, would you date a Trump supporter? Would you date somebody that has different political views than you? I know I mentioned it in a previous video. For me, no, because it tells me what type of person you are. Your political views is deeper than just, oh, whatever. It really says what type of person you are. If I believe in protest and standing up for myself and you don't, that's a turn off. Like, and at my big age, 35, if you're not going to stand with me, nah. Because now we're living in a time where you have to stand for something. You know, King knew how to pick them. He picked, during that time, that was a very scary time in the 60s, right? And I'm that type of woman. I feel like if my man want to be an activist and he want to, I'm right with him. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And you only got one life to live, so you might as well do the right thing while you living. And you want your legacy to be, you know, positive. You don't want it to be like, oh, this person didn't stand for anything. No, you want to stand for something. So that's my question of the day.